Hi, welcome to the Tech Desk of Russ Nicodem from SICK Incorporated. We're doing a series on detecting and doing registration control on super shiny films. Of late, your graphics departments are adding super shiny silvers with dark blacks. You've got all the colors of the sun on the rainbow, blues, all these different colors. And it's starting to wreak havoc on our registration sensors and or our sensors just trying to detect the bags. So there's another application. You might be needing to detect a splice tape on a film, a very shiny film. This happens to be a Velveeta. What I use for a lot of my tests is just tin foil because it's got all the these angles and it's super shiny. Another common thing is trying to detect a single color when you don't have a background, like on a film like this. If this was not up against a roller, you try to teach it the white versus nothing, these sensors tended to have a little bit of difficulty. So what we have here is we've got the new series sensors, just been launched within the last 6 months by SICK. They are phenomenal. This is a KTX, it's the KT series. It follows in suit with the KT5s, which we've had for 20 years, and most people have been using as a standard. So this is a KT5, which you probably have in your plant potentially. This is the new larger KTX. It's fit, form, and function to your old style of sensor. Mounting patterns are the same. The only thing you have to choose is whether the light comes out the side or the end. One of the big features of this sensor, two big features of this sensor, super fast, over 50 kilohertz switching frequency, super accurate, less than 3 microseconds jitter. Jitter is how consistent the output comes on. And a third really big benefit is this can detect in color mode and contrast mode. So we'll go through that and why that's important to you. So first of all, for setting up a sensor like this, you take it out of the box, and this one happens to have a standoff of 12.5 millimeters. I have a bracket that happens to be exactly that. You take your sensor, you would mount it, and there'll be a bar graph on here. It's already gone past that, but it'll be a bar graph that shows when you're in perfect alignment. That's only the first time you mount the sensor. However, when you look at a contrast sensor, it's got the light. See that light? You know that's out of focus. You bring it in until the light is nice and brisk, and you know you're in really good focus. This has twin eye technology, which allows for a plus or minus 5 millimeters of variation, so you do not have to be as critically close or as critical on your mounting as you had to be on your KTs. These had a plus or minus 3 millimeters. So the fourth benefit is it allows for more web flutter or inaccuracy in mounting. So to teach it out of the box, you'd bring it to a mark, say set. It says teach on the screen. I go, yeah, I want to teach it. And it's going to be a 2-point teach. That's contrast, so I teach it. Now it asks me to teach it the first mark. And then it says the second, which means teach it the background. And it says, yep, got it, 100%. So even on these films, so this is a super shiny film. And watch on the screen what happens when I'm moving along this film. You can see, and what you can even see on that, this is the signal right here, and this is my threshold. It's looking for me to go below that threshold, and I'm going to get a false trip. So on this film, and these are the numbers indicating my what the sensor is seeing. That's the amount of light coming back. It jumps all over the place. That's very typical on these foil films. So if I'm coming up to now I'm on my black is 50, and when you're on the normal film it's like 600-700. But when I'm on here, I'll still get some false trips right there because the light gets refracted and it thinks it's down to 50. So that is the real problem that we're going to solve today. So this sensor, let's say this is my film. I don't have a registration mark. I do over here. That would be easy to detect. But let's say I don't have a registration mark and I want to register off of something else on this package. Now I look through here, I'm gonna register off of this blue, because it's the only thing in line there. So I can bring the sensor, and I'm gonna show you how to do this with the keypad, and I'll show you how to do it on the computer. I put the sensor over the blue, and I push teach, same as before. I push teach again, and it says 2-point teach. No, I only want to teach at 1. So I go scroll over and I say 1-point teach, and I push the button, and it says first. It's making sure that you're on the first teach, which is the only teach. And what you'll notice, I got 100%. If you look here, I'm taught, it's not just one LED, all 3 LEDs are turned on. So now I'm in color mode. So when I come up on this blue, boom, output is on. If I look at my computer, I'll put it on the blue. The computer has got bar graphs. This is my red LED, my blue or green, and my blue. As long as they all are in line, it tells me that this is the color it sees. So, in this case, super shiny film, very difficult to detect. I can go anywhere I want. If you look at these graphs jumping around, all 3 have to be in alignment for it to sense, for it to say that it's a mark. And in no time, anywhere, even anywhere on these shiny, shiny surfaces, until I get to there, I know I'm on the mark because I'm dead in the middle. So that is one way to solve sensing on super shiny films. This is my mark here. Even in this mode, I could do a teach on the silver. Boom. It's hard to teach on it. So 1-point teach, yep, got it. Oh, right there. So right now I taught it gray, or silver. And it's a super small silver. You can see the numbers are way high. When I'm on it, I get a blip. It's so small that I'm not on it for very long. But all of these have to be in alignment. So you can use this as a color sensor or a contrast sensor. One of the things I like to do, and this is another good example, is say I want to use the apple as my registration mark. I have a big registration mark. Teach, teach, 1-point teach, first teach, done. So I come through, boom, I'm on, and I'm off for everything else. So what if I wanted to use my computer to set this thing up? All I would have to do is I can go into my settings. I can decide my pin configuration, because I can use IO-Link data. I can have drift correction on or off. If your light spot's going to vary, you can activate drift, so it'll allow the threshold set points to move with your changing of your mark. This is the most critical setting. I can do a fine. Watch these bars. They get really narrow. What that's telling me is that this color of apple had best be the perfect color. And that would be used if you had multiple colors of red within your packaging. So if I only want to pick up the middle of that apple and not on the outsides of it, I could do that. I would need the computer. Well, you could do it on the screen as well, but it's easier to do on a computer. And to teach in, just as easy to teach it there. I can do a 1-point teach, KT mode. I just taught it something red. And black. Oh. Teaching is successful. So, if you're dealing with real shiny films, your unique super fast sensor, the KT will be the choice for you. So the product is a KTS and KTX. The features that make it so great are twin eye technology, and it's that'll get you more variation in product, allow you to teach a single point teach if you don't have a background, and it will make your machine, your process be more robust. So thank you for watching, and if you have questions on registration control, contact your SICK rep.